I made a video before the season started about why I actually believed that Cincinnati could make the college football playoff. And this was back during the summertime, and let me tell you, I'm feeling pretty confident right now. Everything I said in that video stands true, and all of it is actually coming to fruition, which has me very excited. And last Friday night, I went and actually saw Cincinnati play in person versus Temple, and just seeing them in person and that energy in Nippert Stadium, and then also seeing Ohio State in person, I just want to say this year's Bearcats team is outstanding, and they are just as good as every team in the race to make the national championship in Indy. I think sometimes people just have the perspective that Cincinnati, they're a good team, but they're not playing the top talent in the sport or have the top talent in the sport. But in my opinion, one, they've beat the top talent in the sport, and two, they also have it. I really believe that. They have NFL level talent, which I'll get into in this video, but I think that a lot of people just have this perspective about Cincinnati without actually watching them play football. I think that they really are one of the best teams in the sport, and even times in the past when we've seen an underdog team come up and rise, they might not have that actual talent that can get them to that next level, but I think Cincinnati does. Cincinnati last year had one of their best seasons in school history, and this year, they're on their way to an even better season. Now, before I get into this video, if you could hit that subscribe button for me and leave a like on this video, I would greatly appreciate it, help out the algorithm, and also help out the channel. Now, the Bearcats are a proud program. They're one of the oldest in the sport, if you didn't know that, and they've had great success under Brian Kelly and Butch Jones and now Luke Fickell. And this team is 5-0 right now. They have wins over Indiana and Notre Dame, both of those on the road. That Notre Dame game was massive. That one was the game changer for their season. They beat a team that made the college football playoff last year. That stands out for me big time. And they went in there and they won basically outright. This is the number 3 team now in all of college football. And honestly, they might have played better than anybody so far this season, if I'm being honest. They have a stable person at quarterback. They have a great defense, and I think that they're playing their best football. And last year in their bowl game, this is a team that could have beaten Georgia. And in most people's opinion, Georgia would be the best team in all of college football right now. And they very well could have won that game, and that's why I'm so confident in how the Cincinnati team is playing. They brought everybody back from last year's team, a team that almost beat Georgia, the best team in the sport this season. Heck, they just beat Notre Dame, a playoff team from last year. I really don't know what more they can prove, especially considering their schedule, but I also think they have what it takes to be great. I know that people always say like a Boise, a UCF, a TCU, those schools, they shouldn't make the college football playoff because they don't have the same level of talent. They have lesser quality of wins. Well, Cincinnati, not only do they have those high quality wins, they also have those first round picks. Yes, potentially, they have 3. First off, number 1, Desmond Ridder, their quarterback, who is a Heisman contender. Let's talk about that real quick. Desmond Ridder has been playing outstanding football. He's a leader. He's been making great throws, leading guys open, making big clutch moment plays as well. He's maybe the best quarterback in college football. This is a season where we've seen a lot of the potential number 1 guys being taken in this year's draft really fall off, like a Sam Howell or a Spencer Rattler. Desmond Ridder has not fallen off, and actually he's risen his play. He's stepped up to be a leader for this team. He's awesome. I love him so much. He's a great quarterback. Also, they have Sauce Gardner, Ahmad Gardner, their cornerback. He's small. He's hard to break free from. This guy's a lockdown dude. He's going to be a first-round pick. He's a little bit smaller for a corner, but he's definitely built up his weight a little bit, and he's gotten so much better as every year has gone by. And then, number 3, Myjai Sanders, one of their pass rushers. He's one of the best in college football. A great pass rusher. He could easily be a first-round pick as well. They've also got even more talent. The running back, Jerome Ford. Great running back. Even got Kobe Bryant, their cornerback, pair up with Sauce Gardner. This team has NFL level talent. It's not just like they're a good college football team. You always see these pundits on TV say they have to have those NFL bodies. Well, Cincinnati frickin' does. They have the NFL bodies. They also have the high quality wins that you want. I really don't understand what more you would want. The national championship trophy is going to be at Cincinnati's game this upcoming weekend against UCF. That's huge. That actually, in my opinion, proves that the committee or whoever is running this thing is at least believing in them to make the thing, because I think that they can actually win the damn trophy. It's in Indianapolis, the national championship. All those Cincinnati fans could travel there. They could sell out the place. I mean, this is Cincinnati's year, man. I'm just saying, the defense is outstanding. They have a great head coach in Luke Fickell, one of the top in the sport. They have a great top-level QB. They remind me a little bit of a Mississippi State back in the day with Dan Mullen and Dak Prescott. I freaking love this team. You could say I'm biased because this technically is the closest college football team to me where I currently live, So, you know what? Maybe they're my hometown team, but I think that they just have everything that you would want a college football team. And there's not much more they can do. I mean, they joined the Big 12 already, so that's going to come into place in a couple of years. They're a high quality program to begin with, if you want to go off that, but they have the talent. I mean, when you watch teams like Iowa and Penn State, you're telling me Cincinnati isn't just as good as them? Because in my opinion, as somebody that's watched all of these teams play, I think Cincinnati's better than both of them, if I'm being honest. They have a way better quarterback. They have a defense that is just as good as those two. And they have just as good of a head coach. I mean, Luke Fickell is getting looked at for USC, and so is James Franklin. I mean, I don't understand what people are really thinking with doubting Cincinnati at this moment in time. They've done everything that they've needed to do to be one of the top teams in the sport this season. I said that if they won out, they should probably make it, and they beat all of the right teams when they needed to. I hate that these people say that Alabama and Georgia should just be penciled in. That frustrates me so much, just saying X team would beat X team because they have better talent. Like, penciling teams in is killing college football. Like, what's the point of the regular season if you're just going to want to pencil in Alabama and Georgia to make the national championship? There's no fun in that. And in my opinion, there's no validity to that. I think that Cincinnati can beat both of those teams because, heck, they almost beat Georgia last year. What's different this year? I mean, it's not like Georgia brought in a whole lot different, and Cincinnati, they look even better than they did last year. Like, truly, the only teams that I think that could be potentially better than Cincinnati this year are just three: Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State if they're playing to their top. So if that's just the case, I mean, Cincinnati, not only if they win out, they should make the playoff, but I think that they can beat any of these teams. I don't think this is like a Notre Dame of last year either. Like, Notre Dame, they got blown out in the playoff. Well, Cincinnati, they have NFL talent. That Notre Dame team didn't have an NFL level quarterback like Desmond Ridder will be. They didn't have a top corner like Sauce Gardner. They didn't have a pass rusher like Myjai Sanders. And I think that this Cincinnati team, man, they get me so fired up. I get so freaking pissed off watching these people talk about, well, Cincinnati's just not that good. Their schedule's not great. They don't have that top talent. They do have that top talent. I'm not going to keep ranting. All I'm saying is that if you've legitimately watched Cincinnati play football this year, and if you've watched all of these other teams play football this year, there's no way in your right mind that you can tell me that Cincinnati is not as good as them. Cincinnati has looked just as good as any college football team this year, if not better. They have the talent, they have the coaching, and I'm telling you this right now, they can win that damn trophy. You give them a shot, they will give their best effort. This is a massive moment in college football. I have not loved a team like this in a long time. It's been 2014, back when TCU was trying to make the playoff. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. This Cincinnati team might be better than that TCU team, and that is a team that goes down in my heart. That is one of my favorite of all time. So for me to say something like that, I gotta believe in this team. And I'm telling you right now, if you watch this video, please, for the love of God, spread the word, put Cincinnati in the playoff. We can't just keep sitting here and saying we should just pencil in Alabama and Georgia. We cannot do that. It's detrimental to this sport that we love so much. College football is a great sport, and this is a Cincinnati team that is not a fluke. They are legit. Okay, that's going to do it for my rant. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed or agree with my statements, I would greatly appreciate it if you leave a like on this video first off, then hit that subscribe button for me for more videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Again, please, Cincinnati in the playoff, college football playoff committee. I swear to God, if those first rankings come out and Cincinnati's undefeated until that point when it comes out, and they put them outside of the top 4, I'm going to lose my mind. The committee, if that happens, have not been watching college football this year, because if you've been watching every single team, Cincinnati has looked just as good, if not better, as any team that is playing right now. Okay, that's going to do it. Peace.